Alright, so this is going to be my review of the next episode of Falcon and Winter Soldier. This has been a great series so far, and this episode took it to a whole other level. We're now halfway through the show, 4 down, 2 to go, right? So, anyway, so this episode pretty much introduces the Wakandans, the Dora Milaje, who we get a little more backstory of how Bucky was dealing with this programming, and I'm like, was there something going on between Bucky and that one, I forget, I know she has a name, not Okoye, but that one Dora Milaje warrior. I forget that character's name, but I was like, they're kind of hinting throughout the entire episode. It was like, did they have something going on back there? Did Bucky and her have a thing? I mean, good on Bucky, but the dude deserves some happiness for a little bit. And like, it does give perspective of what Bucky, if that's true, then it does give a little more perspective of, I had a small piece in Wakanda. I was like, now it makes sense. So anyway, we get more with everyone in Riga and looking for Kylie, who Kylie might turn out to be one of the best villains in another great MCU villain, where she is doing some really horrendous things, but at the same time, she's, you understand her actions, even if they're completely horrible. And even, like, they show in this episode where her and Sam are talking, and she's basically like, even Sam's like, I don't think you want to do this. I don't think you really do have your heart into becoming a mass murderer. I don't think that's you. And Sam makes a really good point of being like, yeah, you don't, he even like, I wouldn't say tricks her into saying it, but more like, he basically gets her to say outright, yeah, you just want to become the thing you hate, to fight the thing you hate. So that two wrongs don't make a right here, Kylie. So I really do like that. And again, this whole episode and this whole series has been proving, Sam, you are clearly meant to hold that shield, and we're just waiting for Sam to get his hands on that shield. That's all we've been waiting for, to see him. Anyway, so yeah, John Walker's back in here, and yep, we're clearly seeing the John Walker that we all know and hate in the comics. Yep, we are seeing more of that John Walker in this series, and yeah, I'm going to be talking about that ending, don't worry, but we'll get to that. We get more of Zemo, and his little schemes of basically like, well, I don't want it to be, like, if I go back to prison, that's fine, but if I go to a Wakandan prison, I am fucked. So I'm gonna do the most Zemo thing and, protect myself. And, yeah, the whole thing of, we don't trust Zemo is very obvious, and it does give credence more to that theory of, I think Zemo is going to live, because again, we've still got 2 more episodes, so things could change. But, like, I'm still on the boat of, I think they're going to let Zemo live so he can start the Masters of Evil. I think that's the case. I do like that episode, that part where he sees all the super soldier serums and he's like, oh, he's going to go full hypocrite and become a super soldier, right? He's just going to do that because that's what would happen in Ruby. Yeah, I fired shots. I fired a broadside to Ruby. I'm still not over it. Yeah, thankfully Zemo doesn't go full Ironwood and destroys all but one of the vials, and John Walker takes the super soldier serum, which, yeah, John Walker with a super soldier serum is a really bad thing. That's something, like, I don't think John Walker has ever gotten the super soldier serum in the comics. I don't think he's ever once had the super soldier serum, or unless he had for a short time, and maybe like a prototype version of it, and maybe I'm just forgetting that comic. But yeah, John Walker gets the super soldier serum in himself, and yeah. There's also, like, I want to bring up, and this is something that a lot of people have been, like, speculating from episode 3, And the more I think about it, and the more like I watch this episode with the parts with Sharon, the more I'm like, holy shit! I think Sharon is the power broker. A lot of people are kind of like, yeah, it's a little too convenient that stuff happens and Sharon is around. So either she's either she's A, working for the power broker, or B, is the power broker. That's the one, like, a lot of people are having that, like, theory, and I'm like, it's not like with the Mephisto thing, where it's like, you know, every other episode is like, oh, this is Mephisto, that is Mephisto, in WandaVision, but here it's like, no, this actually holds some weight. Like, this theory holds a little weight, and the more, like, you watch this show, the more you're like, especially this episode, the more of that feeling went, it really does feel like they're building up Sharon Carter to be the power broker. This very jaded woman who was burned by her country and has all this tactical know-how and intellect to run a criminal organization could be the power broker? Jesus, that's a scary thought. I hope that's not the case, because I really do dig the character of Sharon, so I'm hoping they're not... At least, like, give her a reason if she... I'm not saying she is the power broker, I'm just saying, like, that theory of her being the power broker... Like, the more you think about it, and the more, like, you watch her in episode 3, in this episode, it's like, holy shit, I think they're doing it. But then again, we've been proven wrong. Right, Mephisto theory people? Yeah. So, anyway, so let's talk about the big thing that happened in this episode. Let's really talk about that. So, John Walker, now with the super soldier serum, goes apeshit after Kylie murders Battlestar. And yeah, Kylie killed all those people in the previous episode, but she wasn't looking at it. Like, here's a thing. There's a difference between killing someone from far away so you don't feel the guilt, and then there's a totally different thing of killing someone and you see it. Like, there's a, like, I've talked to, you know, my brother had friends when he was stationed in Afghanistan. I'm not going to go too deep, but basically, like, he know, like, my brother was telling me there's a difference between someone who pulls the trigger on a drone strike and someone who pulls the trigger of a gun. There's a massive difference between how that affects you psychologically. So, yeah. And people are saying, oh, Kylie's, you know, good and all that. She just realized killing is wrong. I was like, too bad she didn't realize that when she blew up the goddamn building. Yeah. She didn't, like, really realize, oh, maybe this killing thing is not a good idea. Anyway. But yeah. So, let's talk about the big thing in here. The big thing being, John Walker murders one of the Flag Smashers in the center of town with the shield. Just fucking... You don't see it, but I'm pretty sure that head is gone. Yeah, so... let's talk about the implications of that. Like people have the video phones out and watching this in horror. And basically... John is just standing there like, yeah, I did it, so what? Now, here's the implications of how bad this is. One, he just murdered a guy, obviously, but here's the other, a couple other things, like, internationally, which they're probably going to talk about in the next 2 episodes, is, one, he just murdered, essentially, a civilian. Because most people around the world aren't going to realize, oh, that's a Flag Smasher. But even then, he murdered a guy who was clearly surrendering. This was a guy who was clearly, you know, a guy who was clearly surrendering, and also someone who was not fighting back. That's another thing. You also have a soldier, not take the Captain America part out of it, but like a US soldier just murdered a civilian in another country. That's bad enough as it is. Like, that is, like, the epitome of this shit is bad. Of shit just went horribly sideways. So yeah, I don't think John's going to be holding that shield for much longer, but now that he has the super soldier serum, maybe the US government will be like, maybe we'll keep him around, or just use him as an experiment. It's hard to say. But yeah, that final scene made it, I think everyone went, oh shit, that's not good. But yeah, and it was great to see Sam try to talk to people, talk people down from the ledge, essentially. So all in all, this episode was great. It's going to be cool. It was so great to see Sam finally wield that shield. It was hard to watch John go apeshit, but yeah, here we go. Anyway, you guys tell me in the comments below, what did you guys think of this episode? Did you guys like it, hate it? Comment below, let me know, and once again, I am Mr. Multiverse, and I'll see you next time in the multiverse.